Are you looking for a new mortgage? Get unbiased advice from our team of experts at the Nottingham Mortgage Services. Secure the right deal, and you could save money on your mortgage. Visit thenottingham.com/mortgages and let us help.
Out. We were talking just a moment ago about the Panthers League title chances, the Challenge Cup chances. Dare you say Grand Slam?
I just did, I think, and I think everybody's going to get on me and saying, hey, slow down, calm down, this isn't the Nottingham Panthers we're talking about. When we were writing down the team sheet, as we do before every game, every player that we wrote down, we either cursed a little bit or said, oh, we'll have him, or we'd have him, or we'd have him. And that's any hockey club in the country at the moment would have a lot of this Nottingham Panthers side. They are, not only are they playing well, but they're clicking, connecting very, very well. And even the players that you wouldn't expect to be playing at the league that they are and in the way that they are, everybody has stepped up this season and they're playing some absolutely incredible hockey. And oh yeah, if they don't, they can easily replace them with David Alexander-Beauregard. So, you know, it's not exactly that they're lacking in talent, in depth tonight. I mean, this is a club that could easily play four-line hockey. They have the players.
The Stingrays, though, have plenty of talent of their own, and they have the league's top scorer in Jeremy Tendler. Refreshing for the Stingrays to win last night, to come from behind to win, and Tendler not get on the score sheet.
He didn't get on the score sheet, but he also did what he does very, very well, was create chances, create a lot of hustle. He won a lot of penalties last night, as did Kale Tanaka, and of course he did set up that fantastic goal to Jason Silverthorne last night to seal the deal against the Dundee Stars.
The Stingrays' record against the Panthers this season is not good. They've not won any of their games, and they've been on the wrong end of a couple of beatings down in Nottingham. The game's here, 4-2, 3-1 in favour of the Panthers, but in recent weeks the Panthers have been turning up to away games against the Gardner Conference teams, and not just winning, but winning big.
Since that big defeat in Sheffield that the Nottingham Panthers suffered, we all thought, aha, that must be it. That's when they'll start to lose a few gears. That's when the Nottingham Panthers of old will appear. Instead, the exact opposite of how it happened. They've taken that defeat, they've taken it really, really hard, and they've actually found, you know what? We're going to go from 5th to 6th gear now and just destroy everybody in our wake. Last night's 1-0 victory was the first time I can remember them only scoring 2-0 victory. Was the first time I can remember them scoring just 2 in the last couple of games. They have been turning up and wiping the floor of opponents of late.
And of course, one of those goals was a late empty netter with John DeCaro pulled. But we've asked the question sometimes before about what happens to the Panthers when that great offence doesn't click. Yes, they've got plenty of depth, but some days you don't score 7, 8 or 9. That was one of the days. The answer is they've got Craig Kowalski.
Craig Kowalski, but also for the first time in a long time, he has a very, very solid D in front of him. He's working hard, he's not seeing as many shots as in previous years, but also when he is seeing those shots, he's keeping active, Jonathan. That's a very hard trait for a goaltender. If you're not seeing a lot of shots, it's staying active and keeping mentally quite sharp, and he's been doing that all season. It was a tough, niggly little game against the Sheffield Steelers. A lot of the Nottingham Panthers fans I was speaking to last night said it was the weirdest game they've ever seen. Hadn't had the intensity, didn't have the high impact of a normal Steelers-Panthers game, but what happened was when Kowalski was needed, he was very sharp.
The question is, can the Hull Stingrays take a step up in class tonight? It was a great victory for them last night, of course it was, and an important victory in terms of their chances of winning the Gardner Conference. It took them into the playoff spots in the Elite League standings, but there's a difference between the Stars at home and the Panthers at home. How will the Stingrays have to adjust their game?
Last night, I think the big thing for the Hull Stingrays was taking in the puck the pretty way, going through the blue line and just chipping in a couple of shots on goal, really testing Nicola Riopel. Tonight, they're going to jump, they're going to chase, they're going to play real hard against the board hockey. Look to see Cloutier, Ryan Hand and Osmond use their physicality to try and knock the Nottingham Panthers out of this game. That is going to be so hard in a team that has Benedict and Lepine in it to try and bully them out of the game, but they're going to have to try and do that. I can't see them out-skilling the Nottingham Panthers tonight. I can see them outworking them and outboarding them tonight.
In the last meeting between the two teams here, there was a nasty hit on the boards by Graham on Towner. Sam Towner doesn't back down from anything, he's only a kid, but that shows that the Panthers can play the rough, tough game if they need to, and they can do it well.
I think for coaches up and down the league, I think for hockey fans up and down the league that aren't from Nottingham, we've all been saying, okay, so what game can't they play? Can they do the rough and tumble? Can they play the skills play? Can they do the tough road game? Can they do the one goal advantage game? Can they sit on a 3-goal lead? Can they come back from 3 goals? They have done every single one of those all through this season and been superb at it. It is scary how good this Nottingham Panthers side are at this moment, especially they're doing the exact opposite of what they normally do and are gaining form, gaining momentum coming into the final few weeks of the season.
It's often the case that when you're pushing towards a league title, like running on a bungee run, the closer you get, the more forces pull you back. Sometimes though, that bungee cord straps behind you and there's nothing left to slow you down.
It's going to be ironic, I think, Jonathan. We're talking about the most competitive elite league we have had here in years and years and years, probably since the creation of the elite league. We're all talking, aren't the games so competitive? Isn't it fantastic that the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th place teams are all so competitive? Oh, and by the way, the league winners are probably going to win it by 89 points. That's how good the Nottingham Panthers have been. In this year of this competitive elite league, the Panthers have been almost a league ahead of everybody else.
I'm sure the Panthers fans have been looking at the fixture list and analysing the table for weeks now, but just in case there are any fans out there that don't know the situation, the Panthers are currently 4 points clear of the Giants and they do hold the first tiebreaker, which is regulation wins. So it just takes, well, not a lot really, but even a defeat tonight is not terminal for the Panthers' chances, nor is it terminal for the Stingrays' chances. They're still alive in the Gardner Conference and in terms of finishing in the top 8 overall.
You know, all we've done is talk about the Nottingham Panthers, and it's very difficult not to when they come here. But this is a whole Stingrays team that's on form, that's doing everything that it has to do in the Gardner Conference. They are looking for bonus points tonight. Let's make no mistake about that. They want to try and secure playoffs outright by winning their conference, or secure the playoffs by just being a better team than they have been in the last couple of weeks, and they have been these last couple of weeks, playing better hockey, moving the puck well, and scoring a lot of goals. Speaking of which, they're going to have to score about 5 or 6 from me tonight if they're going to win tonight's game.
Yes, and the early team news for the Hull Stingrays is that Jason Silverthorne will not ice tonight. He did go down injured during last night's game in the start of the 3rd period. He got back up, he finished the game, he scored a great goal, but he does not ice tonight. It's a lower body injury that we heard from assistant coach Bobby McEwen. Jason Silverthorne does not ice. For the Panthers, Patrick Gallivan is out, David Beauregard is in, and Corey Nielsen is the other import scratch. So the Zamboni has finished its circuits. We're not far away from the 2 teams making their way out onto the ice. As I look around the building, I can see that the blocks away to my left, the Nottingham Panthers end, is absolutely packed out, not a seat to be had, and the Panthers fans are now spreading into C block, which is predominantly a Stingrays stronghold. But the Stingrays fans are not going to back down from a shouting contest.
The noise in here is going to be deafening, Jonathan. I'm going to struggle to hear you. We're going to struggle to hear the referee's whistle. I'll tell you what we are going to hear is 2 very, very passionate sets of fans screaming at each other, getting the energy up. They're not going to need big motivational speeches in the locker room tonight. The fans are going to do that for them.
Reminder that you can get in touch with us here. We are at Hull Stingrays TV. I am at JJ Fernley, this is at The Douse. If you've got any messages, any shout-outs, please send them along and we'll try and read them out during play. We are expecting a huge webcast audience tonight. The pre-sales before we went live were larger than we've ever had for any of our previous broadcasts. So if you do send a message in and we don't get around to reading it out, we do apologise for that. But this is going to be the biggest crowd, you know, for several years here at the Hull Ice Arena. It's also going to be our biggest webcast by OA. Thank you very much for being a part of it. We're also hoping to have interviews for you during the 1st and 2nd period breaks. During the 1st period break, it's our friend from Cats Whiskers TV, John O'Bullard. And in the 2nd period break, we're hoping that the Panthers general manager, Gary Moran, will be able to join us. Now, all of the lights have gone out, so we'll turn back to the ice as it's a bit too dark to see us. And a reminder that Hull Stingrays TV is brought to you by the media department at Hull College, and we thank the students and staff at Hull College for their support and help behind the scenes on tonight's show. And Strangely, it seems that the bar is the least populated area of the Hull Ice Arena at the moment. I'm sure that won't be the case later on. I can see about a dozen seats spare in A block. There are a few in C block, but they'll just be late arrivals, I'm sure. We were expecting a sellout, and indeed there are still a few fans also stood up and are going to watch through the plexiglass from the corners. The Panthers' great home support is talked about often, the highest average attendance in the Elite League, but also their travelling support is consistently large and has been, even when they haven't been challenging at the top.
You have to, hang on, I'll get my voice back in, Jonathan, having to scream just to hear you. You have to say that the travelling fans of the Nottingham Panthers have been there in good times and bad, but tonight they have turned out in their hundreds to support this team. They can smell it, they can feel it, they know they are whiskers away from that title. Can the Hull Stingrays ruin at least a little bit of that party?
The Stingrays' next match is against the Cardiff Devils next Saturday. That is the 16th of March. You can watch that here on Hull Stingrays TV. But the next Panthers games, part of the double-header in Belfast. I know a lot of Panthers fans are making their way over for that game. The linesmen tonight are Andy Dalton and James Kavanagh. And the referee is Michael Hicks. We will of course keep you up to date with all the scores from around the Elite League. There are 3 other games taking place, although the ones that the Panthers fans we wanted to keep an eye on takes place in Edinburgh, where the Capitals face the Belfast Giants. And listen to the noise level now as the Nottingham Panthers make their way onto the ice, led by their netminder Craig Kowalski. Just go through the other games for you. It's a 6 o'clock start in Edinburgh. It's also a 6 o'clock start in in Cardiff, where the Cardiff Devils take on the Sheffield Steelers. It's a 6:30 start in Dundee as the Stars take on the Fife Flyers. So the Panthers are on the ice, and we're going to very shortly be joined by the home team, the Hull Stingrays, and the noise level gets even louder. I will now run through the Nottingham Panthers lineup for you. Starting netminder is 33, Craig Kowalski, backed up by 34, Dan Green. Rest of the side looks like this: 4, Jason Beckett; 5, David Clark; 7, Robert Lakovic; 8, Matthew Myers; 14, Jonathan Weaver; 16, Mark Levers; 17, Matt Francis; 19, David Ling; 21, Bruce Graham; 26, Brandon Benedict; 27, Kelsey Wilson; 28, Guy Lepine; 44, Jordan Fox, the captain; 45, Stevie Lee; 68, Eric Werner; 71, Josh Ward; and 90, David Beauregard.
I tell you what, Jonathan, the noise for when those 2 teams came out, and that's just for the teams coming out. I tell you what, Jonathan, if the Hull Stingrays score first, this place will go absolutely bananas. I think the roof might come off the building. It's a tough order for the Hull Stingrays tonight. No silver fun. They will have to work hard, they will have to play hard, and every single one of them will have to step up and be counted for. Otherwise, it will be game over, and it will be the Nottingham Panthers win that they've been preparing for.
So as you can hear the Stingrays being introduced in the background, I will run through the full lineup for you. Starting netminder is 33, Ben Bounds, backed up by 30, Zach Brown. Rest of the team looks like this: 5, Jeff Smith; 6, Martin Andre; 7, Dimitri Rodin; 8 Curtis Dooley, the captain. 9 Dominic Osman. 11 Scott Robson. 14 Cale Tanaka. 16 Sam Towner. 19 Andy Ward. 20 Shane Lovedow. 22 Jordan Fisher. 26 Matty Davis. 27 Jeremy Tendler. 29 Tom Squires. 44 Ryan Hand. 83 Sylvain Cloutier. 91 Danny Wood. You may have heard Jason Silverthorne announce in the background he is on the game sheet, but he will not ice tonight. He was put down just in case, but I say he hasn't been able to make the starting lineup tonight. Not that it matters a lot in the grand scheme of things to the Nottingham Panthers fans, but they won't be delighted to know that the Sheffield Steelers are already 1-0 up after 19 seconds down in Cardiff. So there'll be a ceremonial puck drop, then there will be some national anthems, and then there will be the opening face-off. So looking around, there's still just the odd seat at the front of C block, couple in A block, but then again there are plenty of fans that are stood up around. There are also fans in the bar that will have a ticket for a seat and aren't taking one up. It's the loudest this building has been for years.
This is what the Elite League can be about, you know, Jonathan, when you get these two sides. Hull Stingrays currently sitting far down the table, but they believe that every single one of their players believes as we do go to anthem time.
This is Hull Stingrays TV, brought to you by the media department at Hull College. We are live from the most versatile venue, the Hull Arena. Tonight's referee is Mike Hicks, linesman Andy Dalton and James Kavanagh. Reminder that for the Panthers, no Nielsen, no Gallivan, Beauregard does start. And for the Stingrays, there is no Jason Silverthorne. So we're not far away from the opening face-off. Want to say a big shout out to Sophie McLaughlin and Tam, and also to Andrew Mallory and Sarah Langerman, who are race fans watching all the way from Cale in Germany. Also want to say a big shout out to Tammy Sylvester, and I'll see you tomorrow. So we are just about ready. Stingrays having to mix things up a little bit because of the injury to Jason Silverthorne. They'll be starting with Jeff Smith as a forward. We do expect him to spend plenty of time on defence too, but Smith and Towner will certainly both take shifts as forwards, and it's Smith who plays the puck into the zone. We are underway. It's the Panthers in white and black, and it's the Stingrays in blue and yellow. Dooley plays the shot and then gets clattered, and Myers will bring it free. Looks across, Kelsey Wilson. Oh, what about this for a start? 19 seconds. Wow. Kelsey Wilson gets the goal. And half of the arena is stunned, half the arena's on its feet.
Dooley went in hard to try and create some offense. Got caught on the breakaway. Rodin was by himself. When you've got that kind of time and space and you've got a one-on-one situation, you do fancy him to score every time. Kelsey Wilson goes glove side, but Ben Bounds, who can do nothing but wave it goodbye. It's a decent pass from Myers, but there was nothing what that Rodin could do. 1-0 Panthers, the worst possible start if you're a Stingrays fan. It's back to the game plan for the Nottingham Panthers.
So it took the Steelers 19 seconds to score in Cardiff. It's taken the Panthers 19 seconds to score in Hull. This will be icing if Werner gets back to it, which he does. So the goal is Wilson assisted Myers after 19 seconds, an even strength goal. But the Stingrays were down last night and came back.
Different team, different circumstances, Jonathan, but yeah, if you're on the bench right now, that's what you've got to be telling your players.
Panthers going at it again. Here's Benedict in the corner. Forced out of the position, and here's Dooley. Doesn't have Silverthorne to aim for now, he's looking for Dooley. Lovedale's off the bench to take this one forward, and then he loses possession, and that is an offside call. What a finish from Wilson. Wrist shot, but so accurate.
Absolutely, it's just the kind of thing you dream about as a sniper like Wilson is, that kind of one-on-one situation. It was interesting that the Hull Stingrays started with Smith on the top line, just pushing it forward. Maybe come to cost them as Tanaka comes out.
Cale Tanaka still playing with a pot on his left wrist. He broke his wrist in Belfast a few weeks ago. Made his first appearance back from that injury last night. Operated on the wing, but he's now operating as a centre tonight. Needs must with Silverthorne out of the lineup. Andre under pressure. Plays it out of the zone, but taken by the Panthers and played back in by the goal scorer Wilson. Francis is on his set, send it in front. But Lakovic was heading to the corner, expecting the puck to go around the back. Lakovic has stopped that one off the boards. Squires hustles back into the play, and he's poked the puck out of the zone. And that'll allow the Stingrays and the Panthers to both make changes. Ashley Tate was the scorer of Sheffield's goal. But it's Kelsey Wilson with the early marker in this game. Rodin to Smith. Smith chips it in. Kowalski waved his stick at it but let it go. And it's Rodin on the far side. Myers comes across to say hello. And Osman's not on the same wavelength. Panthers have the puck back. Off the glass, awkward bounce back towards the goal. It stays live. Beauregard's played it against the post. My goodness. Bounce nearly got caught out by the bounce off the glass. And it came back into a dangerous area and Beauregard rolled it against the post. Pass just behind Osman, couldn't reach it. Now into the corner for Osman, he's battling with Weaver. Danny Wood comes in there and gets to it ahead of Beckett, but it's played around the boards and it does just cross the blue line. Cloutier's not happy, but I think that was the right call.
He took a good long time to make it. I think that's what Cloutier's most upset about. Bounds, you're right, he was on his own goal frame trying to catch the puck on the back of his hand. It bounces out, so it gives them an opportunity to get a shot right out in front. It goes through his 5-0, then comes right off the post and out. A lucky break for the Hull Stingrays.
Tendler intercepts that one from Werner, then shoulder to shoulder they go. And Werner gets it out of the zone. Tendler back into the zone. Graham's across to keep him company. Wood's in there too, and it's come back the Panthers' way. I want to give a shout out to EIHL Memes, our friends on Twitter. Glad you're enjoying the show tonight. And try and make sure you say nice things about us. Losing his stick was Wood. Rodin picks up. There's no Stingrays after this, and icing is waved off. And Werner around the back to Lepine. Robert Lakovic chips it into the zone, intercepted by Dooley, played across to the far side, and Hand will chase that one. Stevie Lee, Hull boy, spent some time here in Hull earlier in his career. And Wilson drops it off to Lakovic. Rodin can't get it clear, trying to get it out to Lakovic in front. And now it's Squires who'll lead the Stingrays back the other way. Tried to chip it into the zone, Fox got a partial block on it, and Kowalski will cover, and the Stingrays will have a face-off in the offensive zone.
Nottingham Panthers showing why they are the best team in the league. There's so much hustle about them, but it's all very organised. They're moving incredibly well. Often, Jonathan, most of their play start with about 5 or 6 good passes in their own zone before they break out. The whole Stingrays are playing like it's the end of the third period. A lot of gas, a lot of panicky plays. They're going to calm it down and get a little bit of possession and then create some chances.
Matty Davis scored 2 power play goals last night, and he's won that face-off for his team. And Osman are going to have a little bit of a scrap. The gloves are off between him and Stevie Lee. Osman has got hold of the shirt so far. The helmets are coming off. We thought it might be a feisty game. And it's Lee and Osman, and Lee's landing all the punches so far. And Osman swung himself off his feet. So Stevie Lee comes back to Hull and makes a statement.
Stevie Lee's first shot rocked Osman a little bit. He lost his footing. He tried to go over the right hand and then lost his footing, and then Stevie Lee could bring him down. But the first couple of shots by Lee, you have to say, rocked Osman a little bit. You got to win the fight there. If you're going to try and get back into it with a bit of physicality, you got to win that fight. Both benches will be motivated pumped by that. Could have done with Osman just hitting him.
Yeah, he won't be happy with himself there, Dominic Osman. He takes pride in his fighting when he does have them, and that wasn't one of his best, but great momentum, well, keeps up the momentum for the Panthers. And a goal down in Cardiff, and it's gone to Kenton Smith of the Cardiff Devils. 1-1 between Cardiff and Sheffield in the early stages of that game. It is also underway in Edinburgh, but no score yet between the Capitals and the Giants. So just 5 minutes each for fighting.
Number 45, Stephen Lee, he also receives 5 minutes for fighting. Both penalties turn, 4 minutes and 15 seconds.
Back it to Weaver. Weaver's long pass out reaches Lovedahl. Back into the zone for Tendler, though it's knocked away from his stick. And now it's Lakovic. Partially blocked off by Lovedahl. Andre stays strong. Around the boards for Cloutier, although Weaver stepped in front of him. And the shot comes in from Wilson, and it's a kick save from bounds, and then a penalty is going to come in on Matty Davis for holding the stick. Holding the stick's the call, and he felt like he had to do that with a shooting chance in the slot.
A professional foul, I think you'd call that one, Jonathan. Had to do something to stop the shot away. I mean, I think it was a bit of a tough call. We didn't have the best angle, the referee does, and he's made the call. 2 minutes. This now becomes difficult for the Hull Stingrays. Their penalty kill, not the best in the league against the power play that is the best in the league at 25%.
So many threats. Graham in front of the net, Clark on the slap shot, Ling. So many dangerous players, whichever line the Panthers choose to send out. Here's Weaver. And it's going to come back to Graham, who normally likes to position himself in front of the net. Plays the pass across, it hits a Stingray's leg and goes out of the zone. But don't discount the Stingrays when they're short-handed. No team has scored more short-handed goals this season than the Hull Stingrays, and no individual more than Jeremy Tendler, as Cloutier blocks that one at the blue line. Have had some trouble with the scoreboard here at the Hull Ice Arena this weekend. And indeed, the 2-minute penalty has disappeared from the scoreboard. So I'm not able to tell you exactly how long is left on the penalty, as Kowalski takes a little bit long to get the puck away, with Tanaka closing him down. Hello. This is good forechecking from Tanaka, and he's not making it easy for the Panthers to get it out of their own zone. They have now, through Ling, Although he's let that puck get away from him, and Dooley knocks it back. Long pass from Clark, looking for Fox. It did get a touch. There isn't the icing that Rodin wanted, and he just, moment's hesitation, allowed Graham to get to it. Now the Panthers will look to get the power play set up, although Ling has miscontrolled and Danny Woods cleared it. And the Stingrays will be able to make 3 changes, and the Panthers are going to make some too.
Speaking of Bobby McCune before the game, he said Cale Tanaka is so important because of his energy, because of his hustle.
And Tendler has pinched this one, but Werner reaches back round and knocks it away from him. Good strength from Eric Werner. But again, you see Tendler, whatever the situation, loves to pinch the puck, wants to score short-handed goals. So the penalty is about to expire, and the tip from Lakovic, right across the face as he gets his own rebound, and there was no one at the far post to tap it in. The Stingrays clear it, and Davis will go after it, but Werner has it, and we are back to 5-on-5. A reminder, if you missed it, and many of you may have done, the opening goal came after just 19 seconds from Kelsey Wilson, and it's the only goal of the game so far. Clark to Myers, who set up that Wilson goal. The shot on goal, saved but not held by Bounds. David Clark's slap shot. And how many times have those gone in over the years? This one into the chest of Bounds.
I think Bounds saves that in self-defence. It goes right into his chest. Make sure it doesn't go any further. That was a good penalty kill from the Hull Stingrays. You know, you were talking about the breakaways, the short-handed goals. I can't see that happening without Jason Silverthorne. He's such an important part. Yes, Chandler scores the goals. Silverthorne's normally the man who sets him up, though, in that scenario.
It's back to Clark. Still with David Clark. Tried to play it out in front. Myers is there. The backhand attempt. Beauregard's there, and it was blocked in front by Andre, and he sends it around the boards. And the Stingrays are doing everything they can at the moment. It's all hands on deck just to keep the Panthers away from the crease. And they can't quite do it. And again, as the puck comes into a dangerous area, the Stingrays get it clear, and the Panthers get it back. There's no doubt that when the Stingrays get chances tonight, they are going to have to take them. Hand with a backhand attempt, and that's easy for Kowalski, but it does at least win them an offensive zone face-off, and Hand wants to have a few words, doesn't he always? And it's Guy Lepine, and that's a fight I think a lot of the fans will be happy to see.
Hand and Lepine having words. Hand just getting a bit of time for his brothers there by the backhand shot to Kowalski. Knows he would just ice it, means they could get a line change. That's what they've got to do, though, the Hull Stingrays. They've got to calm down a little bit, because if they do not calm down, they're going to give away cheap penalties. It's a tough ask tonight, but they can't make it tougher on themselves by sitting in the penalty box.
A few Harlem Shakes have broken out around the Hull Arena. So Ling, a late arrival, onto the ice. James Cavan is ready to drop the puck. And finally it is dropped, and it's the Stingrays that win the draw. Dooley sends it in on goal. Kowalski covers again. We saw the Stingrays, particularly in the second period against the Dundee Stars, get a lot of shots on goal. 20 shots they fired on Nick Riopel. The shots they've had there from Hand and Dooley, they're not good shots, but they win a face-off. There might be another chance coming.
That's exactly what they're doing. These shots are going to keep Kowalski working, but crucially they get the chance to create up the set-up play. There it is again. They'll go back in the centre circle, win the centre circle face-off, then try and get a shot from the point.
Still no goal updates from Edinburgh. And the Cardiff Devils have taken the lead against the Sheffield Steelers. Yet more cheer for the Panthers fans watching the broadcast tonight. The Stingrays are working hard, trying to make it difficult for the Panthers to get the puck out. Fired in again by Dooley. He's leading the team in shots. Kowalski's leading the league in all the goaltending stats that matter.
And even in the ones that don't matter, he's leading in. He has been the unmovable object for the Nottingham Panthers this this season, and he's had to resist a lot of force against him, but he's done it all season long. Cloutier's talking about the amount of time they're taking to get the face-off sorted out.
Yeah, it does seem like the last couple of face-offs the Panthers have been slow taking to the ice. The Stingrays as home team do have last change, so can respond to whoever the Panthers want to send out. And Francis is going to try and get onto this, and Lakovic is bursting to the net. Bringing it inside, but instead losing possession, and maybe the pass to Lakovic would have been the better option. Rodin under pressure from Wilson.
Great hustle from Wilson.
Panthers pressing high all over the ice. It's now Francis in on the forecheck, and Rodin carrying it out. Again fired in, trying to look for Kowalski, went over the top and off the glass. And now Lakovic flicks it in, takes an awkward bounce, and Bounds uses his blocker. Speed from Davis through the neutral zone. Oh, just lets the puck slip off his stick as he came face to face with Jonathan Weaver. Now Graham, pass goes past Benedicts, reaches Ling, and that is an offside. I think Benedicts wanted to take that with him, and then just having miscontrolled it, he wasn't able to stop himself.
They're very good at, the Nottingham Panthers. As they go forward, they do that cross-ice pass from one side to the other, and they'll either take it or leave it, and it means that the defence don't really know who to follow. Speaking of forecheck, Nottingham Panthers often put 3 men in the whole defence. The moment the whole pick it up, they'll send 3 men right into the blue zone right now, which is a very high forecheck, but they know they've got the defence behind to cover.
Matty Davis brings it in, backhands it on goal, and Kowalski holds it. And I think there's going to be a penalty coming in here on the Nottingham Panthers. Mike Hicks has his hand in the air. And indeed the Stingrays are going to go on the power play. And it is Lapine that's going to go for a slash, so to speak.
Yeah. Got me out there, Jonathan, if I'm honest. Smith's coming in there, and he's just been caught for pace, so he swung the stick around to try and stop him. We've seen that as slashing. I think at least 1,000 of the paying referees here also called it a slashing, so he'll get a deuce, and this is a big power play now for the whole Stingrays, if only to get momentum.
Gerard Adams was the scorer of the Devils' goal. Devils leading by 2-1. Long shot comes in from Rodin, and Kowalski uses his stick well. Really powerful shot from the Estonian there.
I think I'm looking at the moment that the whole Stingrays are winning around about 70% of the face-offs, especially in the Nottingham circle. That's going to be really key if they're going to keep the momentum on in this power play.
This face-off does come back awkwardly off the boards, and Kowalski again thought about covering that one but lets it go, and Lakovic brings it clear short-handed, fires the long shot in, it goes wide of the target. Will be picked up by Francis on the far side, he fans on the pass, and it's Dooley carrying it clear. This is Dooley to Davis, taken hard to the boards by Stevie Lee. As Lee and Osman are now both back out after their fight. Play does continue, and the puck is kept in just, and Rodin doesn't go for the shot, goes across to Cloutier. Cloutier with a slap pass to Tendler. Oh, and the shot was blocked by Fox and sits up nicely for Kowalski to glove.
Tendler's got to take a touch there because the pass was so hot. It had to be hot so they would catch the Panthers out. Rodin did very, very well to keep that puck in, and it was a great burst in by Dooley to get past a couple of players. Stevie Lee having to work very hard to take the puck off him. Good stuff by the Stingrays, this.
Werner gets the chance and smashes it all the way down the ice. And Graham is pressing hard, and Rodin's got to be careful, and Bounce has got to be careful. Play that against the side of his own net, and Graham's going to pick up on that. Really good penalty killing. They've still got 50 seconds to kill, the Panthers, but just hard work and effort, tenacious from the Panthers forwards to win the puck back. And really they had no right to get to it.
Benedict's so well there, just holding up the puck, but he's not being hustly enough. Somebody just check him. Give him a bit of physicality, take him off the puck.
And again, we're also seeing the Panthers looking to play the puck into the zone and get it on target, make bounds work. Because a couple of those have gone blocker side and don't have as much control with a blocker as you do with your glove. Flick back to Osman, his first shift since coming out of the penalty box following his fight. And Andre can't stop it on the boards, and there's 10 seconds left of the power play. Bounds around the board for Lovedahl, under pressure from Myers. Squires touches it off. The pass forward won't reach Cloutier. Will be intercepted by Jordan Fox. Here comes Fox, trying to get the shot away, and he does on the forehand. And Bounds made the save. Such quick hands from Jordan Fox. There's David Clark and an offside. Levers crossed the blue too soon.
I think both Levers and Ling were guilty there. Just a bit hard there. Clark looking at them, looking at linesman Mose, but I think it was a clear offside. Barring the first minutes and moments that have happened, the whole Stingrays have given themselves an account. They've got to try and create some clear chances. That will be difficult. They will have to be clever, but they'll have to keep the basic fundamentals right. At the moment, they're slightly getting in each other's way. They're losing an edge every so often. Just keep calm, carry on, and do the fundamental basics of hockey.
Well, the Stingrays have had a few shots on goal. You'd be struggling to say they've had any scoring chances, whereas the Panthers have tested Ben Bounds on several occasions, and they might look to do so again. Cross-ice pass, just out of reach of Mark Levers. Dooley seeing a lot of ice time in this game. Clark shows that he isn't doing any holding. And then Jeff Smith gets himself into trouble, but again it's the Panthers on the forecheck that are causing that trouble. And the Stingrays are struggling to just get out of their own zone. Jeff Smith will get to this in the corner before David Clark. We'll try and hold off the attention of Weaver. Drops it off for Rodin. Rodin round the back of the net. Spins and shoots, plays it right across. Osman goes down. Then the shot comes in from the sideboards from Dooley, and it is held by Kowalski. But we saw there with the puck in the Stingray zone, all 5 Panthers skaters the other side of the red line, 4 of them the other side of the blue line.
Such a high forecheck, and it's clear in intention that, look, we're going to make you work so hard to get out of your own zone that by the time you get into ours, you're going to be gassed. You're going to be having to work really, really hard. Rodin did work hard and created a good scoring chance for the Stingrays.
Frustration down below on the home bench as Dominic Osman slams his stick against the glass, frustrated with his last shift.
Wouldn't be the Stingrays if Osman hadn't hit the stick against the glass. He has a lot of passion, a lot of energy, which he brings to every single game.
Tanaka loses an edge. Hope he's okay. He did fall on his left arm. But here's Lakovic on a diving block, and a really good one from Lovedahl. And Hand can't control the outlet pass. Lakovic touches it in, then heads to the bench. And this is back with the Panthers. Benedict's chasing after this one. No support, he's waiting for it. It goes back to Ling. Graham's making a move to the front of the net. Oh, and it went beyond Graham's stick. It's now with Fox, and he loses out. And Tendler has pinched it and will now try and break away, but Graham got across to cover and he set Fox going, but that's going to be a delayed offside, so the Panthers will have to retreat. Long pass played forward, it was tipped, there's no icing. And Fox sells Tendler the dummy. But it's pinched in the corner, out front to Tendler, oh, and he's missed the top corner. And he hasn't done that much this season. There was room over Kowalski's shoulder, and it went over the shoulder, but over the crossbar, and then over the glass and out.
Cloutier works so hard on the boards there. He's worked so hard, kept the puck and comes away clean. He finds the pass to Tendler. Kowalski then sells himself. He goes low, looking for the instant shot. So Tendler takes a beat. So he's looking for the top corner. And unfortunately, and like I say, Jonathan, I think you could have put your mortgage on him roofing that one, and he's put it well over the bar.
Here come the Panthers. David Clark with the shot, and that whistles just wide and crashes into the glass. Back to Weaver. Slap pass attempt is blocked, and it's just kept in. Good hustle from Weaver. And the Panthers keeping the pressure up. Rodin prevents the wraparound attempt. Oh, and then Wood goes down, and there's no call. Clark was on the scene. Stingrays fans are wanting a call. Referee Hicks says no. And that's got the home crowd really irritated. Matt Myers taken to the boards but retains possession. Crowd of blue shirts around him. And Beckett with the outlet pass to Lakovic, touched by Wilson. And Lovedale goes behind his own net. Panthers finding it much easier than the Stingrays are to move the puck through the neutral zone at the moment. Slick passing from side to side. Let's try again, Lepine again, moving it across. This is Werner carrying it forward. It's gone beyond Lovedale. Lakovic is trailing the play. Lovedale's kicked it away. And that's good work from the American Shane Lovedale. Here's cross-ice pass. Finds Osman, tries to move inside, but that's going to be offside. Tanaka thought he was going to take it in, but he didn't. And a little bit of miscommunication, but again, that sometimes happens with a defenseman as a forward and a new forward line.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Speaking of Tanaka, I've been watching him for the last 2 games. Obviously, he's got that pot on his left hand. Now, you'd expect a player of his speed anyway to do a lot of one-handed skating, but he only puts 2 hands on the stick when it's absolutely necessary. He just comes off there right away. He puts 1 hand on it. He's doing a lot of one-handed hockey. He's there for his energy and his pace for this Hull Stingrays team.
Panthers back into the zone. Benedict looking for Ling, and it was just beyond him. Fox fires it back around the boards. It comes out to Benedict, and the puck just bobbles over his stick. Goes to collect it in the corner. Tanaka trying to stop him from cutting to the front of the net. Benedict's now taking up position at the front of the net, but Ling can't get it to him. Roden keeping a close watch on him. Graham trying to spin and shoot, doesn't get the shot away. Panthers close control, so far so good. Now it's Fox moving in, dangerous area, bounces down. Can the Panthers get the shot away? No, they can't. And it's knocked to the sideboards by Andre, and the penalty is coming in on the Stingrays. And they're frustrated. It is a high stick. And it looks like Martin Andre that's going to go. It has reached the end of the first period down in Cardiff, with the Devils leading the Steelers by 2-1.
The Hull Stingrays to win this game need to work hard, need to play hard, and they need to have a bit of luck. Sometimes that luck comes in the form of a referee. That is bad luck. I can't really see what Roden's done wrong there. I know there's probably a lot of Panthers fans at home saying otherwise, but I do struggle to see where that call's come from. It is a tough one. It's Tanaka who's going, not Roden. They got a case of mistaken identity, which if you're going to get 2 players confused, I think Roden and Tanaka are quite different, but never mind. Big penalty kill now coming up for the Hull Stingrays. If they can keep it down to a goal, they've withstood the pressure.
So it's Tanaka that gets the high sticks call. But Roden and Ling were having words, and there's still a little bit of conversation taking place over on the far side. Goal update from Edinburgh. Apologies for missing this earlier in the period. The Edinburgh Capitals lead the Belfast Giants by 1-0. Only just seen the tweet come through to say it has reached the end of the first, with the Caps leading by 1-0. I don't know who scored it at this stage, but that is what we're hearing. Capitals lead Giants by 1-0. Apologies for not being able to bring you that news sooner. We've only just found out up here on the gantry. How big are the Panthers fans' smiles right now?
I think I just heard 600 of them, not to my left, but I think the ones at home. Wow, that's a result at the moment. It is a tough couple of games for the Belfast Giants in Scotland. They did their business against the Bray Hakan. This is an Edinburgh Capitals side that are playing some good hockey, got a good win against the Sheffield Steelers the other week at Ice Sheffield. Lots of funny business going on in this face-off circle now, Jonathan. Both sets of fans enjoying the atmosphere. Maybe not the officiating so much.
Sylvain Cloutier is not a man to wind up. When he's in the mood, Kowalski brings it out, decides against shooting. He has scored this season, albeit pre-season. And it's Graham on the power play. Shot fires across the face of goal. Clark can't stop it on the boards, and the puck's back in neutral territory. Weaver's cross-ice pass to Graham. Sent around the boards. Fox takes a seat. Good pressure from Davis, trying to take the puck away. But again, the Panthers always seem to have that extra player around, and of course they do on the power play. But even on 5-on-5, the pass has gone their way. Oh, lovely tip from Fox, and Bounds gets it covered. Lovely move and a really good save.
It is a great tip by Fox. Bounds is down low, watching it all the way. It's a grateful pass right into the big Stingray on his chest. You're absolutely right, Jonathan. Even when on 5-on-5, you think they must have an extra man somewhere the way these Panthers move it about. There's always somebody protecting either the puck, or the net, or in front of the man in front. There's always an extra man there for the Panthers. It's because they move, they hustle so much as a team. They use so much energy getting from the one end of the ice to the other. They are a conditioned, fast, big hitting team.
So there's 1 minute and 6 remaining on the power play for the Panthers. We're hearing that Edinburgh's goal was scored by Brent Patry. And the Caps are leading at the end of the first period by a 1-0. And the 6:30 face-off is underway. The Dundee Stars against the Five Flyers underway. No score in the early stages of that game. Francis trying to get the puck to someone. He's looking for an option, then drops it off to Lakovic, and his pass was blocked. And a diving play gets the puck out of the zone, and Osman's after it. Tendler's too far away for a pass. Werner will try and keep Osman away from it, and he does just so for long enough. Less than 30 seconds of power play. Good puck movement, and the shot is missed by Myers. But again, tape-to-tape passing as Tendler tries to pinch it off Francis. So Stingrays fans making the noise at the moment. And again, the shot fired in from a long way out, but forcing Bounds to make the blocker save. And that one has caught the lighting rig above centre ice. Tanaka is back out, and we're full strength. And the face-off will come back into the Stingrays zone, because that's where the puck was played from before it hit the lighting.
Good penalty kill again for the Hull Stingrays, really limiting the chances that the Panthers had. Being really strong on that square, making sure they're cutting off all the passing lanes, allowing the Panthers to move it as long as they are far enough away from Ben Bounds' goal. Good penalty kill so far.
I want to give a shout out to Mike Holmes, who is watching the game all the way from the Caribbean.
Hey, that must be the winner.
I tell you, it is not like the Caribbean in Hull today, unless the temperature in the Caribbean is -1 and there is light snow falling. We could have taken the roof off and played the Winter Classic tonight. We've got a crowd befitting it, but it is frigid winter here in Hull. Certainly not like a Caribbean island. Stingrays trying to get it in front to Tendler, and it's just not been Jeremy Tendler's period so far. I say he's had the only real Stingrays chance of the game, and he fired it over Beauregard from a narrow angle, and that misses. Final 30 seconds of the first period. Still the only goal from Kelsey Wilson after 19 seconds. Taken into the zone by Osman. It was played just behind Tendler and Davis, and that's played between everyone, but again it's on target, so there won't be an icing. And do the Stingrays have one last shot left in them in this period? Final 10 seconds, it's Rodin carrying it all the way through. Dooley, his pass was blocked, it came off Beckett, and it'll be played out of the zone by Stevie Lee. And that is it for the first period here at the Hull Ice Arena. The Stingrays 0, the Panthers 1. We've also seen a fight between Stevie Lee and Dominic Osman, which featured not many punches landing, but probably the slight edge to Stevie Lee. But it's been a great defensive effort from the Stingrays to keep the Panthers to 1. Ben Bounds has made some very good saves.
We've seen this a couple of times this season against teams like the Hull Stingrays. Look, absorb the pressure in the first period. If you can do that, if you can keep it low in that first period, then you've got every chance to come back in the second and third, or as they start getting desperate and looking for the options to try and kill the game, you can look for those breakaways. The Hull Stingrays, although disappointed with the way they've went down in the first couple of seconds, they'll be very, very pleased with where they are right now.
The players will be back after this short message from the Nottingham Building Society, headline sponsor of the Nottingham Panthers. Are you saving for your first home and thinking about getting on the property ladder? Are you aged 18 to 39? Would you like to see how you could get up to £1,000 free per tax year for your first home? Let us tell you about the Lifetime ISA. The Lifetime ISA is a savings account for 18 to 39-year-olds who want a little extra help with their future savings goals. You can use it for your first home, or wait until you're 60 and use your savings for retirement. The government will give you a 25% bonus on your savings. So you save £100, you get £25. You save £4,000, which is the maximum per tax year, you get £1,000 free, paid straight into the account, plus interest. You can open an account with just £10 online at thenottingham.com. Ineligible withdrawals are subject to a government charge of up to 25%. Check the terms and conditions for more information. Now back to the Nottingham Panthers.
Going back to tonight's game then, Panthers leading by a goal, an early goal. Shot counts in from the first, Panthers 15, Hull 7. And a lot of those 7 were pretty tame.
Yeah, those 7 were, get the puck in Kowalski's mitt, get a line change kind of shots. You'd probably say, chances-wise, the Stingrays probably had 1, maybe 2 in the entire game. So it's something that they need to improve on. Hi, everybody. Gets very busy up here, as you can see. Obviously the Hull Stingrays have to try and change that. Panthers are now coming back to the ice. I mean, the Panthers will be pleased with how they've played. They'll want to keep that up for the next 40 minutes. If they do, they'll probably get about 5 or 6. There were a lot of very, very good chances. The Stingrays have got to close them down and get the puck in the right end of the rink, maybe tilt it a little bit if they have to, and try and get some good goal-scoring chances on Craig Kowalski.
Okay, we're going to cut back to the main camera now, as the Nottingham Panthers are back out onto the ice and the Hull Stingrays are gathered at the entrance to their locker room. They'll be out shortly. Goals to tell you about from around the league. It is 1-1 between the Stars and the Flyers. Chris Hogg put the Flyers on top, equalised a minute later by Tristan Harper. And there's been a third goal for the Cardiff Devils, scored early in the second by Max Beerbrayer. So 3-1 the Devils lead. Still 1-0 the Capitals lead. So that Brent Patry goal came very early in the first period. Apologies for not spotting it at the time. But so the second period is underway up in the Scottish capital. So it was Kelsey Wilson's 9th goal of the season in just his 22nd game. It's the only score we've seen so far. Came after just 19 seconds. And this is Hull Stingrays TV, brought to you by the media department at Hull College, and we thank their staff and students for their excellent work behind the scenes on this webcast. My name is Jonathan Fernley. I'm joined by Stephen Dowson. If you want to get in touch with the show on Twitter, you can do. At JJ Fernley is the place to send along your tweets and shout-outs. 4-1 to the Cardiff Devils. So the Devils have got to go some to catch the Coventry Blaze for 4th place, but they've put a very good start to the second period. 2 goals in the second period, and they now lead the Sheffield Steelers by 4-1. We're back underway in the second period. It's the Stingrays in blue, the Panthers in white. And we are 5-on-5 to start the second period. Dooley plays the pass, absorbs the hit from Wilson. Shot is deflected over the top. It was Davis that tried. And Weaver plays the pass out, looking to get it to Wilson. It was deflected away from him. And here's Matty Davis. Takes the shot, goes into the chest of Weaver. And falls nicely for Matt Myers. Interesting that the Stingrays are going with Jeff Smith as a forward. We didn't see any of Sam Towner last night. We've not seen a shift from him tonight either.
Interesting, but not entirely surprising after the last these two sides met with Towner being involved. You need that experience on the ice tonight, and I think that's why Cloutier decided to make the change that he has.
But he has spent plenty of time, often on the Stingrays' top line. Sam Towner, but no action so far for him tonight. We don't expect Scott Robson or Jordan Fish to get any ice time. Tendler moving it to Wood. Wood with the shot straight into the pads of Kowalski. It balloons up into the air on the rebound and goes into the netting. Danny Wood didn't have a lot to shoot at, but he was trying to squeeze it under Kowalski.
Took the words right out of my mouth there, Jonathan. He didn't have a lot to shoot at all. Kowalski covered up his angles. Wood then just tried to get the dirty rebound off him, with which Kowalski didn't really cough up. But it creates the pressure, it creates the chance, and you want to see Cloutier win this face-off and give the Stingrays a bit more of offence.
Devils' fourth goal was scored by Luke Piggott, and that is the end of the night for John DeCaro. He has been replaced by Jeff Woolhouse. The Steelers have called a timeout to sort things out. Not a happy night so far for Ryan Finnerty and the Sheffield Steelers. Weak attempt on goal by Lovedahl. Tendler picks the puck up, takes it to the corner, and Werner takes it from him and tries to play it down the boards. Andre is trying to keep it in the zone, helped by Wood, he does so. And Lepine is back to play it, off the glass, and this one does cross the taint. Graham and Ling have freed the puck, but it's going to come to Lovedahl on the hash marks against the boards. Goes back behind his own net where where Andre shows his strength. Puck's still in the zone, this is Ling. And it is gloved by Bounds. I want to say a big shout out to Kimberly Lodge, who's watching with Bongo, Mum, Dad and Nan, and they're Panthers fans, and they'll be happy with the scoreline so far in this game. Goal from Dundee, and it's gone to the visitors, it's gone to the Five Flyers. Jason Pitton putting the Flyers 2-1 up. And the long shot is deflected up and into the scoreboard. So with the Flyers winning, that's potentially good news for the Hull Stingrays. There's a lot of conference games still to go, and it's not terminal whichever way it goes, but Dundee have the most games in hand and can, if the games go like the Stingrays want them to, they'll need Dundee to win only 2 of their other 5 games. This is one of them. So I think that would be a scoreline the Stingrays fans would be happy to hear so far. They're going to call for the medic to go to the Nottingham Panthers bench. We're not sure exactly what that is relating to, as the shot is deflected and up and out of play, and frustration for the Nottingham Panthers.
She's been a busy lady these past couple of nights. She had Silverthorne Bowen to look at, and now she's coming over to the Panthers bench to check out, I think it's a cut on the nose of Ling. She's getting her rubber gloves on just to make sure she does a good job, yeah. Actually, that looks like she's popping his cartilage back in his nose.
So it looks as though David Ling will be okay to rejoin us at some point in the game. And it's Matty Davis bringing it forward at speed. Osmond's made a move to the front of the net, and Osmond was trying to get the touch, and no one got onto it. Beauregard skips forward. Roden plays it round the boards, but it'll be kept in by Clark. His pass hit Davis. It's to the corners again where Myers will go for it. Comes round to Beckett on the near side. Back round to Myers. Beauregard's first to react. Well, that wasn't a good pass, intercepted by Dooley, and the Stingrays will play it out. Oh, and that's not well controlled. Chance now for Clark as he brings it in, and Bounds saw it through a crowd and held on.
Matt Myers just came in on the screen to try and put... Bear with me a second, just having a look down on the bench. Yeah, Ling is absolutely fine. Sorry, it was Myers who came across to screen Bounds from David Clark's shot. It goes right into the centre. You probably wish he'd pick the top left-hand corner, which I think is what he was aiming for. Good hustle from the Nottingham Panthers, but yeah, Hull Stingrays will be happy with how the second period's gone so far.
So Ling is back out there, doesn't miss a shift. And Cloutier is not happy with how long it's taking again. Goes for a skate around. And finally we're ready for the puck to be dropped. No, not quite. And that is really going to frustrate Sylvain Cloutier. All the time waiting for David Ling to get set up. They finally get into the set position. The puck isn't dropped. And And Cloutier is sent out. And the Panthers do win the draw, so double frustration for the Stingrays and Cloutier. Cloutier reaches across to deflect that one. Stays in play, and Wood's trying to get it out. Is now carried out of the zone by Benedict. Cross to Werner. Werner chips it forward. Graham will go into the corner. And he holds off Cloutier and retains possession. Werner back around the boards. Benedict and Andre. Andre giving him a shove. Ling's in to help out for the visitors. And Ling spins away from Lovedahl and injects a little bit of speed around the back of the net. Then gets the shot away. And I think Bound's got a piece of that up against his post. Long pass across, was looking for Werner, and he swung his stick at it, and it just went over the top. And the Stingrays can just get it out to centre ice. But that's a poor pass, and Woods intercepted it. Tanaka's making a burst. That's where the pass goes. Awkward deflection, and Tanaka, as it comes back off Kowalski, knocks it across the face of goal. And that's got the home crowd going again. And it all came from a Panthers giveaway. Graham spinning away from trouble. Off the glass. Dooley tries to keep it in, but he can't. And Squires has time. I want to give a shout out to Paul and Jane Russell, who are watching in from Nottingham and enjoying their first webcast of Hull Stingrays TV. Shot from a narrow angle is saved by Bounds. No route through there on the short side. Wilson and Tanaka. It's Wilson who emerges from the corner. Dooley knocks it away. And that deflection comes nicely to Wilson. Back to the blue line. Shot from the blue line comes in, and it's blocked in front. And then the pass out skips over the stick of Squires, and Fox is back to fetch it. Also want to give another shout out to Sophie, who's watching the game alongside Tammy. Hope you're enjoying Hull Stingrays TV tonight. Dooley sends it across goal, and Lakovic has time on the far side. Forward to Francis. And that hits Andre on the backside, and the Stingrays have coughed it up. Lakovic with the shot, saved and then cleared away by Andre. He was first to the loose puck. David Clark moving into the slot. This is dangerous, and it's just missed the target. Francis with the swing, and he didn't get anything on the shot. Still Panthers pressure. Clark, and that took a deflection wide. Stingrays hanging on at the moment. Pressure is relentless from the Panthers. Pass comes through, it was tipped, I think it came off a skate, and then Clark's tied up by Davis in front, and he couldn't get his stick down to get the shot away. Hit from Andre on Beckett, and Beckett can't control the puck. Whenever it's 1-0, the Stingrays fans will stay in the game. If it becomes 2 or 3, it might be a different story. But this game is still within the reach of the Stingrays, even though they're absorbing pressure, and the fans recognise it, and that puck just crosses the blue line.
This line for the Hull Stingrays. They've been out there for a very, very long time, about 2 or 3 minutes. A whistle here, Jonathan.
It's been a great defensive shift from Martin Andre. He turned that puck away from just at the top of the crease as the Panthers were looking to crash the net. And then again, the pass was looking for Graham coming in on the blind side. Panthers do love that cross-ice pass.
Feels like a power play at the moment for the Nottingham Panthers. They just need to get a bit of time on the puck here, the Hull Stingrays.
Managed to get Wood on for Smith. Play continues, and Wood knocks that out of the zone. And here's Cloutier, and Tendler's bursting up in support. That's surely where the passing goes, and it does. And it was just behind Tendler. Now the shot from Dooley, and it's knocked away by Kowalski. Awkward bounce off the glass, comes back out the other side of the net. Dooley keeps it in. Still Dooley, the shot is saved, and it had to be. And it had to be held as well, because Cloutier was lurking. And we're seeing also, Douse, that with it being the second period, it's a long way from your own zone to the bench. The Stingrays still taking the chance to attack. They didn't go for the dump. They still want to try and create scoring chances when it's there.
Much better second period so far for the Hull Stingrays. That energy line of Wood, Squires and Tanaka getting the chances. Cloutier right out in front of Craig Kowalski. Much better stuff. They're just playing simple hockey, Jonathan. If they do that, they'll create chances.
Scramble along the boards in the Panther zone. Tanaka emerges with it. And he's had to take the puck out of the zone to keep it away from Francis. Had a little give and go off the boards, and he's coughed possession back up. And that's Wilson. Looking inside, a deflection off Francis and then off Dooley's stick. And the puck goes out of play. We've seen the puck go over the glass quite a few times tonight.
11 minutes left in the period. To extra sponsors, Mills Goldie. Heading nice to the Panthers fan.
Also want a big shout out to Di Keogh and also Carol Lodge. They're Panthers fans. Hoping that the Panthers can give Dee another nice birthday present with a win tonight. So thank you to Di and Carol for joining us tonight on Hull Stingrays TV. Panthers moving around to Lakovic, and the shot is saved. And Bounds was out to the top of his crease to save that. He knew the shot was coming and he gambled on coming out. But he knew the way that Lakovic was lining up that he wanted to get rid of one. We've had an equaliser from the Dundee Stars, 2-2, and that is the end of the first against the Fife Flyers. As play continues. Still no more updates. Last we heard, still the Capitals leading by 1-0 against the Giants. This is Davis. Lovely move inside, backhand on goal, and it got away from Kowalski briefly, but not before Davis could get onto the loose puck. I want to also give a big shout out to Sharon Dowson, who's watching the game tonight.
Happy Mother's Day. Also, what a great move by Matty Davis there. Do you know where the Hull Stingrays have been at their best? It's when they've had that burst of speed from Matty Davis, from Tom Squires, from Tanaka. It's what they're going to have to do, try and bring down this Panther side who look a little bit tired, who look a little bit just slightly off the pace of the second period.
There's Beauregard. Got Myers in support. Beauregard wants to go himself. Great save by Bounds. Flung his glove hand out and got a piece of it. Didn't hold it, but he had his defenseman there to help out. But what a fantastic save from a sniper right in front.
Bounds robs him here. He's coming up, he's falling onto his back as he puts his glove out and just gets enough of a piece to stop the puck going into the net. Great save.
Lee sends it around the boards. Stingrays intercept as we're hearing that the Steelers have pulled one back. Chris Frank, I suppose it had to be him on his return to Cardiff, has made it 4-2. Here's Fox trying to carry it all the way through. Goes down. Lovedale checked him. He wants a penalty. He's having a word with Mike Hicks, but Jordan Fox isn't going to get a call on that one. And Smith intercepts that pass looking for Ling. Back with Weaver. Approaching the midway point of the second period. Panthers still leading by that early goal. This is Ling. Ling with the shot. Oh, and it's coming awkwardly to Beckett. What a save from Bounds. And in making the save, he's kicked the net off accidentally. But he got a piece of that shot. And Ben Bounds is having a spectacular second period.
He's having to be, there's some great opportunities here for the Nottingham Panthers. He's been good all game, to be honest, Jonathan. When the Panthers move into the Hull Stingray zone, of course they do it in numbers, but they do it in such a way that you don't see the fourth or fifth man coming in. Beckett, as he came in, was all alone for the majority of that play, and then he got a great shot off in the end.
Round attempt, and another backhand attempt, and the puck's coming loose, and the Stingrays defence is doing its job at the moment, picking up those loose pucks when Bounds can't hold it. But as we saw the other night, in fact last night, with Riopel, eventually the Stingrays were able to get a rebound. That shot is landed on the top of the net and has been covered. Riopel's defence was helping him out, and then a couple of times it didn't, and those are the two occasions that the Stingrays scored.
Every man is having to do his duty on defence tonight. I tell you what, Danny Wood has had a great game defensively, just coming up and he's cleaning up and he's moving about. He's obviously been moved around a few times on these offensive lines, but he's doing the business for the Hull Stingrays, and if they are to win, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, every man needs to step up tonight for the Hull Stingrays. At the moment they're doing it.
Ryan Hand is out on the ice, and his mum Elizabeth is watching the game in Ottawa, as is his girlfriend Vicky. Thank you for joining us all the way from Canada. Of course, we had Ryan's dad Jim on the broadcast last night. Tanaka has the puck taken from him. Good work by Francis, hustling back. And now Lakovic carrying it forward, injecting some pace into the play. All tied up along the boards. Tanaka trying to free it, Wilson trying to bring it forward, and it is Kelsey Wilson that has it. Back to Werner. His shot was blocked by Hand. Puck does stay in the zone. Andre chops at it, and then flipped towards goal, goes wide, picked up by Francis. Andre trying to check him off the puck. It is still with Francis. And now it's Lakovic. And volleyed up in the air, not out. And the puck is still with the Panthers. The pressure keeps building. Oh, and Lovedale's going to get called for that. And A-Block is not happy. But Lovedale's got to go.
The numbers between the skates, and if a player gets impeded in any way, it's interference, although I think it might be more of a tripping call here. Well, I'll tell you what, Jonathan, I thought it might have been tripping. I thought it might have been interference. I didn't think it was cross-checking. You can understand why he's upset.
How about this for a scoreline? Edinburgh 2, Belfast 0. Rene Yarrolin. So we've said hello to the Hand family. Time to say hello to the Tanaka family. Kim and Ron are watching from Ontario. Your boys having a good game so far tonight, but the Stingrays have a penalty to kill now. 2-minute minor on Shane Lovedahl. This is Fox moving it across to Ling. Backhanded in front, it just skips beyond Graham. This is Weaver. Graham. Waiting for the time to be right. Time is right, but it wasn't in the end. It was blocked by Tendler. He'll go forward. Tendler will get the shot away, and Kowalski will make the blocker save. We've seen a great wrist shot from Kelsey Wilson. We've seen another good one there from Jeremy Tendler.
Jeremy Tendler making me eat my own words. I said there wouldn't be any short-handed attempts without Silverthorne on the ice. He does it himself, breaks away, takes on two men, goes left, goes right. Has a great shot. Good blocker save by Kowalski, though. You would expect him to save those when he's got that kind of time, to see the puck come all the way from that. But you know what? It just takes the pressure off that penalty kill at the moment. He does have a bit more time. Unfortunately, we still don't know how long there is on the penalty clock. There are some still clock issues here. The Hull Ice Arena.
Yarrolin's goal for the Capitals was a power play goal. They lead the Giants by 2-0. So as it stands tonight, the Panthers would have a 6-point lead. If the results stay the same as they are, with the Panthers winning and the Giants losing, 6-point lead with just 4 games to go. But there's still a long way to go in this game. Still a long way to go up in Edinburgh. We'll keep you up to date with all the scores as they come in. Panthers moving it around. Shot comes in from Francis and it goes high and wide. Benedict loses his footing. Back to his skates. And back in possession. Shot time wasn't right for Francis to get his shot away. And Osman was putting the pressure on. I believe there's just about 30 seconds to go on the penalty. I say the penalty timing not working on the scoreboard in the Hull Arena tonight. Benedict. Moving down to Lakovic, who's seen a lot of the puck tonight. Werner. Kowalski counting down the seconds as the puck is cleared, but only as far as Francis, who fakes the shot. Goes round Davis, then does shoot. Saved by Bounds. Rebound is still loose. Tries to bank it in off the back. It's out front and it's saved again. From Bounds from Lakovic's shot. And Ben Bounds is keeping the Hull Stingrays in this. And Lovedale out of the box. He's got no support. He'll try and make a move. And it comes to Kowalski, who keeps the play alive. And Beauregard. That is offside. Myers misreading Beauregard's intentions.
What a great penalty kill, especially when you consider that Matty Davis was sans stick for most of that penalty kill towards the last 30 or 40 seconds. So he was making himself busy. The Panthers then started passing through him, knowing that he couldn't really intercept it like he wanted to. Some huge saves of Ben Bounds towards the end meant that's 3 good penalty kills in a row now for the Hull Stingrays as they utilise last change, but they'll have to be quick here.
Well, the Panthers a little bit more hesitant on that one, always looking for the perfect shot? Is that a byproduct of Bounds making some good saves?
Column A, column B and column C of Matty Davis just hustling so hard.
Squires with the shot, but the offside whistle has gone.
6 minutes left in the period. Tonight's match sponsors, Mills Goldie. Penny noise from the Panthers fans.
Tell you what, those Panthers fans are just a little bit quiet at the moment. They know that the Stingrays have held a good account of themselves at the moment, and they're a team that when they get momentum, when they get a good passage in play, can score 2 or 3 in quick succession.
Big hit on Clark by Lovedahl. Clark is back to the ice, and he's on the puck, and he couldn't turn it in. What a hit from Lovedahl, upending David Clark. We've seen some big hits here in recent weeks. And that is an icing call. The play will come all the way back. Must be Lovedahl.
It must be Lovedahl. He's gone in low, hit him hard, and I don't think Clark makes it look really, really good. He just nudges him, but he's going on such momentum, he just wipes himself out. Big hit, gets the crowd, here comes the momentum, here comes the noise. And as I said, I don't know a better team in the league when it comes to playing with momentum than the Hull Stingrays.
It's reached the end of the second period in Edinburgh. The Edinburgh Capitals 2, the Belfast Giants 0.
Good news.
Long shot in, comfortable save. I think Myers just happy to get a line change after the icing call.
Every time you keep giving us that score update, Jonathan, I feel about 500 hairs in the back of my neck from people yelling down in Nottingham. Don't know what the B is yet, but that's a very, very encouraging score. It would make next week not as important, what I mean, but that also makes next week not as important as it once was if the Caps were to do the business, and they really could with that team against the against the Giants tonight.
We are getting ahead of ourselves, but I'll just run through the scenario anyway. If the Panthers win tonight and the Giants lose, the only way the Panthers can lose the title is if they lose all 4 remaining games. They'd need to lose both games in Belfast, and they'd need to lose both games in Cardiff. Just one win, whether it was against Belfast or against Cardiff, in regulation or in overtime or in a shootout, would be enough. But we've seen the Giants turn it around in the third period before. Perhaps we'll see it again tonight. Tendler's first time shot, Kowalski with the sliding save. And it looks as though Tendler is going to be the source of most of the Stingrays offence tonight. I say no Jason Silverthorne in the lineup. A lower body injury, he does not ice. Graham, nicely timed pass forward to Lakovic. Lakovic tries to get the shot away, and it was deflected wide. He's picked up his own shot around the boards, and it's sent all the way down the ice. Lepine's chasing, and the puck will come all the way back down.
We are getting ahead of ourselves, Jonathan, but on the flip side, Hull get a couple of goals here. Belfast get a couple of goals, and we're looking at a completely different scenario. That's what's been so fantastic about this league this year. Every game and every result matters all the way up to the final day of the season so far.
Werner to Lakovic. Just cycling the puck around at the moment, the Panthers. Wilson back to Werner. Going to bring it in, Lakovic. Now Wilson, wrist shot, and it was blocked by Tendler. Just Francis. Losing out on the far side boards. Dooley gets it out of the zone. They'll come back to the Panthers. And the Stingrays will make a couple of changes. Werner with the pass in. Just finds Dooley. Tanaka skates into a crowd. And that's going to be an offside if the Panthers play it in. So they'll just flip it in and go for a line change instead. It's Tanaka with the pass forward. Squires with the tip. He's trying to get around Weaver. And Beckett's across on the cover. Good cover from Jason Beckett. There's Beauregard winding up. Big shot. Big blocker save. Still with Beauregard. Back to Clark. Big slap shot. Oh, well held by Bounds. That was high on the chest, almost up around the neck area, and he was able to hold on.
I I think it's just hit his mask. There was a big crack when it came in. It's a good save overall. The Hull Stingrays will be very happy with this period so far. They've defended supremely. The problem has been their creation of chances. They have tested Kowalski a bit more this period, you feel, than they did in the first. He's going to see off these final 3 minutes and then push for a big final 20 minutes.
The Sheffield Steelers have made it 4-3. Not sure who's got it, but the Steelers are back within one. Down in Cardiff. That is late in the second period. We've got 3 minutes to go here in the second period. We haven't had a goal since the 19th second of this game. Myers sends it around the boards, allows the Panthers to make a change, and it'll be Andre who brings it clear. And Andre's carrying it all the way through. Andre's shot flashes wide of the target. And there are a few Stingrays fans that thought that one had gone in. Cloutier trying to move it out in front. Oh, and it's a good save, and the net has come off. Kowalski making the save from Cloutier, and Cloutier following through and knocking the net off its moorings.
Good stuff towards the end of this period now for the Hull Stingrays. They just need a goal. They just need that big push. The longer it goes on, the longer you feel that the Nottingham Panthers will just get that winner, that game winner, which I think 2-0 would realistically be the way they've been defending today.
A good face-off win by Graham. And the puck is with Ling. Stingrays putting the pressure on, forcing the Panthers to just pass the puck out of the zone, but to no one in particular. Benedict's blocks that clearing attempt. Davis in there, Graham and Andre as well. It's Benedict who emerges, plays it out to Levers. His first action for a while. And we're inside the final 2 minutes of the second period. Squires moving away from Lee. Davis's touch inside just presents the puck to Benedict. Bounds gloves it and keeps the play alive. Cloutier was calling for a long pass. He still is, tapping his stick on the ice. And it's finally played, and it misses everyone in a blue shirt. And that's frustrating for the Stingrays. Wilson with a drop pass to Francis. His shot comes through and it just took a nick off Ben Bound's blocker. And Cloutier trying to force it out. And Anne gives Lepine a little bit of a shove. Lakovic fans on the pass, second time of asking. Does get it forward, but it reaches Dooley. Now to Tendler. Touched in by Cloutier. Werner will be there first. And good from Eric Werner. Cross to the far side and Lakovic. Cross ice pass to Francis. Bounce off the board was a bit too heavy for him. Smith got onto it first. Wilson's kept it in on the far side. And the Stingrays have forced it back out. Panthers go for a line change. And we're inside the final 30 seconds. No goals so far in this second period. Can Matty Davis set one up here? Shot from Osman is blocked by Weaver. Stingrays have struggled to get a clear side of Kowalski's goal all night. That shot is blocked. Still with the Panthers. Weaver runs and fires one, and that's a really good save from Ben Bounds. We said it after 10 minutes, we can say it again after nearly 20 minutes of the period. Ben Bounds is on form right now.
Playing some great hockey. He could see the hole of the puck. He had a good lane to see it from, and he'd want him to save that. But it's just the stylish way he's carried himself. His positioning, as we all know, is perfection, and his reactions are pretty hot too at the moment. Great stuff from Ben Bounds.
It was Jeff Legui who scored the Steelers' third goal. It's Sean Limwright who scored the Steelers' fourth goal. Short-handed, it is tied up 4-4, and it's the end of the second period. Down in Cardiff. Is there a chance for one last shot here? Oh, it's knocked to the sideboards. The Panthers won't get another shot away, and time will expire after a scoreless second period. The certainly plenty of chances. Tendler's had a shot, but most of the scoring chances have been the Nottingham Panthers, and Ben Bounds has answered the call on every single one of them.
Hull Stingrays need to be the next team to score. You really do feel that, because if the Panthers get their next goal, all that work, all that hard work will just get to them and their heads will start to come down. So they really have to be the team that scores next. A very encouraging second period there from the Hull Stingrays.
The Nottingham Building Society, along with our partners, providing you with all your financial needs, including savings, the lifetime ISA, mortgages, and home insurance. Visit thenottingham.com to find out more about how we can help.
So welcome back to Hull Stingrays TV. At the end of the second period, the Panthers lead by 1-0, and I'm joined by Gary Moran. Gary, what have you made of the game so far?
It's tight, isn't it? But all of our games seem to be tight at the moment. Everyone wants to try and spoil the party, as it were. But, you know, the boys are playing well, and Bounce is having an unbelievable game in goal for the Stingrays. He's come back from the GB tournament. It seems a foot bigger, a foot wider, a foot taller, and his catching hand seems a bit faster, and his blocker seems a bit faster. But the boys are reining in the shots, and as David Alexander Beauregard says when he's doing commentary with me in Nottingham, shooting's always a good tactic. You never know what might happen, and the boys certainly rained the shots in second period. So fingers crossed. You know, the goal that got us off the bat straight away separates the sides, and since then we've gone, what is it, 39 and a half minutes without another goal.
Well, that's always been the criticism really that's been flung at the Panthers in recent years, is that there are plenty of goals at one end, can't always keep them out when it matters at the other end. But Craig Kowalski and this defensive unit, as solid as the Panthers have possibly ever had.
Well, anyone that levels that criticism at the Panthers hasn't watched Craig Kowalski for the last whatever years. I mean, the double-double, you know, that's 4 trophies out of 6 in the last 2 years, and I could extend that statistic over and over again by going back a few years. We haven't done bad for silverware in recent times.
And of course, it's not just the league title. The Panthers still in the hunt for 2 more trophies this year. Few Steelers fans unhappy with the way it's worked out, the second leg being in Nottingham, but that's just, as John O'Bullard mentioned in the first period break, that's just the situation when you've got arena clubs playing each other, the availability of ice time.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, at one point we were going to have a one-off final in Sheffield. The Steelers fans wouldn't have moaned about that, but we challenged Il Divo, and apparently they can't skate backwards very well, so they didn't want to take us on, and you know, I think it was a sound production day and then a rehearsal day and then the actual concert. It's the start of their big tour. So the arena helped us, and we managed to free up April the 2nd. I mean, we don't want to play a cup final in the week before the playoffs, but it is literally the only night where... There's one other night where we've got ice, but there won't be any lines on it. And the officials we've got in this league struggle when we've got blue lines and red. No, I shouldn't say that.
I think as long as you put it in ironic speech marks, we're okay.
Tongue right through my cheek, yeah.
Absolutely. The financial management of the Panthers in recent years has been very good, and we've seen in the strength in depth the Panthers able to sit out a couple of imports, and that strength in depth, it's been a long season, still a lot of games to go, and it's a real boost for the Panthers to be able to put out as many strong players as they're able to at any given time.
Well, it is, but you know, we brought David back, and you know, it was very much explained to him. He became available in January. He'd always said he'd like to try and come back in January, and circumstances fell into place, but he was brought in, as he calls it, as the spare tyre. He's the most professional cyclist, bike rider in Elite League Ice Hockey at the moment, but he's getting a run out tonight. Gally, who had a great game last night, is having a rest day today, and Bo's having a run out. He's had a couple of great shots as well, and he'll slot back in. Bo's that kind of player. He will do okay and slot in for you. But yeah, I mean, it is great. It means that we can do that. We brought Bo back. He became available, and we said that, you know, Corey said, what do you think? I talked to the chairman. We said that sounds like a good punt, because if you looked at our schedule, it was a very difficult schedule with a lot of games and a lot of games in short spells as well. You know, the 3-3 in Scotland's just part of it. You know, lots of midweek games and what have you. And we sat back and looked at it and we said, what are the chances of us getting through all of those games without an import getting some sort of sidelining injury? And whilst we don't want anyone to get hurt, the odds were stacked in favour of needing somebody. Well, of course, Corey could have jumped back in the lineup, but he's doing a heck of a job behind the bench with Rick. So thank you for your kind words about the way we run the club in Nottingham, and it allowed us to be able to do that and bring him in. But we haven't got the most imports. Belfast have got more, Sheffield have got as many as us, and it happens.
Talk about the impact that Anthony Stewart had when he was over from the NHL earlier this season. He was one of the first clubs to bring in an NHL player, and he certainly did contribute a lot on the ice and off the ice too.
Well, he did a lot more for us than we've done for him, because he's gone back and got traded and then got sent down, bless him. So I hope he bounces back, and I hope he has a great season. It led to even more publicity for us. We drive the club on publicity, we drive it on media. We were on CNN, we were on BBC World Sport, we were, I think it's a 2-page article in the New York Times. I don't just mean on their website, I mean in the paper. So, it brought an awful lot of interest in the sport in general, and the Panthers in particular, and it's all part of the tapestry, which is getting the word out there and trying to get fans to come in, and that must be working. We're selling tickets quite well for our last regular home game on a Friday night against Cardiff. I'm not saying that's going to sell out, but it's on the way, and that would be 3 sellouts in a row. I know the last 2 were both Sheffield, and it was a quirk of the fixtures, but we're very proud that we had the first Friday night sellout, and we're very proud that we've had back-to-back sellouts, and I'd go for the treble, and I'd grab your hand off if you said it could be done tonight. But there are tickets still available for the game on the 22nd. Could be a homecoming night, who knows, touch wood. And then we've got the playoff quarter-final and then the cup final. They're all big games, but at this stage of the season they always are big games. When we play Sheffield, it could be 9th versus 10th, and you'd be fighting for a ticket. It isn't. The next time we play them is for a cup.
Can you look forward to next season at all? Is that on your radar, or are all the focus so far on the remaining games, or is there still a long-term plan that you're working towards?
The focus is on the next shift of the last period here tonight. Our focus, the coaches, the management, we look at it one game at a time. Of course, the coaches can have one eye on the next game and tactical and what have you, but you get it there. But yeah, of course we know where we want to be this time next year. We want to be, as we did at the start of the year. Nothing's changed. We want to start next season defending the 3 titles that we were hoping to win at the start of the campaign. We go into every game with the mindset we want to win, and the ticket says versus, but we'll always try to win.
It's been one of the most competitive Elite League seasons ever. It's the team that's top of the league against the team tonight that was bottom last night. And we've got a 1-goal game on our hands. Yeah,
it's been fantastic, and that will happen. And do you know what? It used to be quite competitive, but I think everyone's got an excuse now to talk about competitiveness, and I don't know that the games are any more competitive than they were. But I mean, look at the conference Hull's in. I mean, it could go any one of 5 ways, couldn't it? And that will have a big knock-on effect on who's technically in the playoffs. Because it won't necessarily be the top 8. You could finish 8th and not get in the playoffs the way it's set up this year. So I like all of that aspects of it and what have you, and it makes it different. And of course, it helps the little clubs. It doesn't hurt the big clubs to have Sheffield coming in for an extra game, and Coventry coming in for an extra game, and Belfast coming in for an extra game, and Cardiff coming in for an extra game. That's not a bad conference.
That's all. I know you won't answer this, but I'm duty-bound to ask it anyway. Give us a prediction for the rest of this game.
I think it's going to be very tight, and I think it'll come down to a big mistake or a big play, or dare I say it, even a referee's call. But fingers crossed. I think the boys are working hard. I think, if we're being brutally honest, I think Hull can thank Bounds for it still being 1-0. I think if it was 4 or 5-0, no one would be moaning. But as it is, it's a one-shot game, and fingers crossed it'll be okay. And Corey won't let anybody do anything stupid, so hopefully the ref will let the players decide the outcome of the points tonight.
Thank you very much for your time, Gary. We'll be back with you shortly on Hull Stingrays TV.
Are you looking to get on the property ladder? Let our trusted and qualified mortgage brokers at the Nottingham Mortgage Services find the right mortgage for you. To find out more, visit thenottingham.com today.
Welcome back to Hull Stingrays TV. Just about ready for the start of the 3rd period. The Zamboni has finished its circuits and the players will be out very shortly. I'm joined once again by Stephen Dowson. Dows, we've heard a lot of sense from Gary Moran, we've heard a lot of sense from John O'Ballard earlier. Yeah. Let's have some nonsense about the Stingrays. They're just going to turn around and win this game, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Jonathan. You know what? Why not? Last night against Dundee, you think the next goal is the crucial one. The next goal, it's all going to be the winner. Dundee get the next goal. And you think, well, that's it. The heads are down, all the rest of it. And then come with the man, come with the coach. Always a professional. Come up the man, come up the coach, and Sylvain Cloutier gets that first goal, that gets the Panthers on the roll. He's been assaulted by Cameron. Did anybody else see that? Anyway, that can happen again, but I genuinely do think they need to be the next ones to score. Otherwise, the Panthers will just get on that steam and that 6th or 7th or 9th gear that they've got, and they'll be out of the. They will start to lose it in this tie.
The Stingrays have had to change the lines around without Jason Silverthorne in the lineup. It hasn't really quite clicked, but I think that's more to do with the Panthers' pressure. And Panthers had 18 shots in the second period. They're up to 33 overall already.
And Bouncy has let in one. That shows you what type of player he is right now. He is on fire. He's doing the business as the teams go back onto the ice.
So that's 32 saves in a row then for Ben Bounds after the first one from Kelsey Wilson after 19 seconds made its way past him. That is the only goal we've seen in this game. The Panthers are out on the ice, and now the Stingrays are out onto the ice too. We do have goal updates to bring you, or at least a goal update to bring you. Bobby Chamont has put the 5 Flyers back in front in Dundee. So from a Stingrays point of view, a 5 win is really good. A Dundee win is fine as well. Anything but overtime. But of course it's a conference matchup. That's what the Stingrays are focusing their efforts on so far. But now they'd love to pinch an inter-conference point in tonight's game. Third period is underway in Cardiff. That's 4-4 between the Devils and the Steelers. And the last we heard, it was still Edinburgh 2, Belfast 0. No, scratch that. Single shoots, single scores. So the Stingrays are in blue, the Panthers are in white. And when Craig Kowalski is happy away to my right-hand side, issues with the ice in front of his crease, or just around the base of the post actually. We'll hopefully get underway. So a chance for me to remind you that Hull Stingrays TV is brought to you by the media department at Hull College. We thank their staff and students for their expertise and great work behind the scenes on Hull Stingrays TV. Our next match is next Saturday. It's a 6:30 face-off. The Stingrays take on the Cardiff Devils. The Devils team that the Stingrays have beaten 5 times out of 6 this season. The only loss came in overtime. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a delay while the net gets up. We've seen a few problems with the net down at that end throughout the season here at the Hull Ice Arena.
Yeah, it's a problem net for the officials and for the guys here. Interestingly enough, Jonathan, they're just measuring it to see if it's regulation. They're happy with it now, happy with the placement. I don't think the Panthers would concede the game at the very least, so they'll play on regardless, especially with that great score for them up in Edinburgh at the moment. And you just thought, I'll tell you what, Jonathan, here's me on record. If you were to put a flutter, if you were to put a tenner right now on who would win the playoffs, you would fancy Edinburgh Capitals, wouldn't you?
Well, if there's going to be a surprise in the quarterfinals like we had last year with the Stingrays knocking out the Steelers as Bounds makes his first save of the period, then you'd have to say that they're the Gardner team that are likely to cause that upset. Okay, so there's an extra euro in the prize for the 50-50. Not sure who's managed to pay for a ticket with a euro, but well done whoever's managed that. Reports of the Sheffield Steelers' demise came a little bit too soon. They lead 5-4. Rod Sarich has scored. one down, 5-4 up. That game is early in the third period. Here come the Panthers with Myers, takes the hit from Rodin. Tendler can't reach it at centre ice, and it's played off the boards. Back forward towards Tendler. Then moving on for Dooley. Backhand attempt from Wood. It goes over the top, and it did in fact go out of play.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your 50-50 tickets ready. It's a white ticket. Ticket number 106110.
The Belfast Giants have scored. Capitals 3, Giants 1. Which brings the Panthers fan away to my left-hand side, who's holding up 3 fingers and no fingers, and then pumping his fist has got that score wrong. It is 3-1. Was 3-0 a few moments ago. The Giants have pulled one back. Tendler's shot, and that flashes just over the top of the crossbar. Thank you to everyone who's tweeted in messages and shout-outs to @JJ tonight. Very much appreciative of everyone who's tuned into the webcast. And Ryan Hand has crossed the line too soon. Tanaka forced along the paint. And Hand crossed the line too soon. So face-off will be in the neutral zone.
Number 305 on the yellow.
It's reached the end of the second in Dundee, and Fife lead by 3-2. That game started 30 minutes later than this one, so we probably won't have a final for you on the broadcast tonight of that one. But the 2 other games up in Edinburgh and Cardiff were 6 o'clock starts, so we should have the final scores from there before we leave tonight. Plays it forward, it's tipped into the zone, and it goes up into the lighting rig off Francis's stick. So face-off comes to centre ice. Squire's taking that face-off rather than Tanaka. That's a change that the Stingrays appear to have made. Of course, we saw the Stingrays last night change their first line. The shot comes in from wide out by Wilson. It's saved by Bounds. And the whistle's gone, and we've got a boarding penalty on the Stingrays. And it'll be a 4th power play opportunity of the night for the Nottingham Panthers coming up.
They have been good on the penalty kill, but you don't want to invite it anymore, do you, Jonathan? Especially at this period of the game. Big PK coming up here now.
Don't look now. Edinburgh 3, Belfast 2. No idea on the scorers of either of those Belfast goals, but they've scored 2 in very quick succession. We're hearing that Peacock scored the first one. Oh, well kept in by Ling. He's got all to shoot at. Oh, and he's saved. Saved by Bounds. Ling had plenty of room to shoot at. There was no one in front providing a screen. A lot of open goal, and it hit the shoulder of Bounds. Well done to Bounds, but I have to say I did expect Ling to score from there. Similar position to where Kelsey Wilson scored from in the early stages of this match. So Panthers on the power play. That shot from Ling hits Dooley. Picked up by Weaver on the far side. This is Graham. Plays it in. Clark with the tip. Bounds with the save. Tendler's to the loose puck, and he's sent it all the way down the ice. Stingrays swap forwards, but Dooley and Rodin stay out. Davies and Osman now, the forwards on this penalty kill. No changes for the Panthers. Ling moves it into the zone. Fox stays strong. This is Ling. Trying to play it out front. Weaver spins and plays it to Fox. Fox tried to send it across, and Clark didn't have his stick down. Got tied up and wasn't ready to tip it in. Sling into the skates of Clark and cleared away by Osman. It was Fournier who scored the second Giants goal. Capitals 3, Giants 2 in the third period in Scotland. Myers drops it back to Francis. Werner, Francis. And that shot hit Lakovic in front. So the penalty almost coming to an end. Panthers still in possession. Rodin, he's taken down, and he has won a penalty for his team. It is a tripping call, and Lakovic will go for a seat. Robert Lakovic does not take many penalties at all. That is just his third minor penalty of the season. And it'll be the second power play of the night for the Stingrays.
Just a touch lazy from Lakovic. Big kill off there by the Hull Stingrays. They now have a chance to have their own power play. Tell you what, Jono was spot on when he said before, this is different Panthers from the ones in previous years. A 1-0 Panthers team is nervous. This Panthers team is quite calm on the offense, even with that 1 goal lead.
4 minutes, 16 seconds. 2 minutes
On Lakovic, and again the Panthers committing 2 players to the forecheck to make it as hard as possible for the Stingrays to get the puck out of their own zone. Rodin under pressure. Francis is trying to take it from him. And now Davis turns and heads up ice. Good momentum. Oh, Tendler skated over the puck, and that's frustrating. And the first 30 seconds of the power play have done absolutely nothing for the Stingrays. Apart from giving me a chance to give a shout out to Jane, Helen and James, who are Panthers fans, enjoying Hull Stingrays TV for the first match. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast and enjoying the scoreline as things stand. And cleared to centre ice. There's a minute of power play left. Dooley. He's got Osman inside. Instead, Osman goes to the corner, and that's where the pass goes. Luce trying to knock it down. And then Panthers will get it clear at the second time of asking. There's only 4 minutes to go up in Edinburgh. It's still 3-2 to the Capitals. Osman carries it into the zone. Wood backhands it along the boards. Squires gets it back to Wood. Couldn't dig it out, so had to play it backhanded, and that allowed the Panthers to clear it. And this power play has not been a good one for the home team. There's only 20 seconds to go, and they've not been able to establish possession and get any quality shots on Craig Kowalski's goal. Cloutier sends it across, it'll reach Lovedahl off the boards, and he was closed down very quickly, and the shot was blocked. Squires plays it out in front. Backhanded back into the corner to Squires. Penalty has come to an end. Lakovic is out of the box, and that's a kind of a wasted opportunity. 2 minutes that the Hull Stingrays didn't do an awful lot with. That one stepped up high, and that goes above the lighting, up into the right into the roof here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in Edinburgh, we're hearing. The Belfast Giants are the only team this season that the Edinburgh Capitals have not beaten. This would not be a good result for the Hull Stingrays, of course, in terms of teams they're trying to catch in the Elite League standings. And of course, no Gardner Conference points at stakes, but Edinburgh sitting just a point ahead of the Hull Stingrays in the Elite League table before tonight's game. Could that be and not even Ben Bounds could save that one.
A bit of luck, a bit of misfortune, but a great pass from Clark to find Beauregard wide open. Bounces really well to save the first shot. It sets up Clark as well, who has a stab at his own, and that leaves David Alexander Beauregard, who starts his first game for many a game, to put the Panthers 2 goals to the good. That's been coming, Jonathan, you have to feel. It wasn't a great power play by the Hull Stingrays, and that has been coming from the Nottingham Panthers. With the scoreline up in Edinburgh as it is, it's all good news now for the Nottingham Panthers.
So it's Beauregard, assisted, Clark and Fox. It's an even strength goal at 46-59. It's inside the final minute in Edinburgh. Can the Giants pull something out of the bag? Do they have a last-minute goal in them? Or are the Panthers going to open up potentially a 6-point lead in the title race with just 4 games to go? That is David Beauregard's first goal of the season. Certainly not his first Panthers goal by any means, but it's his first this campaign. And what a shrewd pickup he was back in January. Game over. Caps 3, Giants 2. The Edinburgh Capitals have done it again. They've beaten the Steelers twice, they've beaten the Panthers, and they have beaten the Belfast Giants. Kowalski makes the stick save. And I think the Panthers fans know the Panthers just need one win. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't come against the Belfast Giants. If it comes against the Cardiff Devils, that will also do for them. Lovedahl blocks that pass. Of course, they do still have to win this game. But they're 2 goals up, and there's a little over 11 minutes to play in the third period. This is Fox. Plays the pass across, and it was deflected away by Bounds.
They've just heard the result to my left, Jonathan, just as you were finishing speaking there, and the noise levels just got louder and louder from my left. It's almost dead around me at the moment. That second goal really has taken the wind out of the sails of the Hull Stingrays. They need something here, a bit of luck, a bit of fortune. Yes, they have now heard, to my left, they have heard that there is a win for the Caps. It's all in their hands.
Turned round and called to the bench. I don't know if that was the fact that he's just heard the score or not, but the Panthers mustn't lose their focus. They've still got a game to win here. And Capitals is the chant from the Nottingham supporters behind that goal. They've travelled in great numbers, and they've got 1 win to celebrate already. Bring on the Giants is the call. They'll say they don't need to beat the Giants. So they do have the tiebreaker over the Giants. And I get the feeling we're in for 10 plus minutes of noise from those Panthers fans. Because barring a couple of Jeremy Tendler's shots, the Stingrays haven't been a threat so far in this game. But what a win for the Capitals and their playoff chances, and a great save from Bounds off Graham's shot.
Hull Stingrays trying to get the party atmosphere going. It's very much a party to my left here for the Nottingham Panthers. You're right, Jonathan, they still have to see this game out. There is still half of this third period to go. They just need a little bit of something here, the Hull Stingrays. They've been playing well all night. Very proud performance so far from the Stingrays.
Kowalski's out to play this, and that does hit the glass first. Does it? I thought it hit the glass first before it went into the netting, but I'm not so sure it did now. Benedict's not happy. It looks as though the penalty has been called. Or has it? Jordan Fox now having a discussion with referee Mike Hicks. Well, the penalty has gone up on the board. Delay of game on Craig Kowalski. I have to say, I did think that caught the glass before going into the netting. I think, to be honest, the net does slightly overhang the glass behind his goal. But that's an unfortunate one for him to take.
It is. and the referee hasn't really had a lot to do tonight. He's let the boys play, and he's decided to go for that one. I can see why both teams feel that it was either not a penalty or a penalty, and the majority of the paying referees here agree with the actual referee's call. So here it is, a big power play for the Hull Stingrays. You feel like they have to score on the next two.
Sent around the glass. Tendler and Werner combined. And it's Werner that will help get the puck all the way out of the zone. Finished off by Lepine. Already 40 seconds of power play has elapsed. The Stingrays haven't got a shot off. That puck comes up in the air. Tendler doesn't know where it is. Graham does. And he gets it back. Oh, a lovely touch between the legs from Fox. And Graham will keep carrying it. Benedict's the only other Panther in the zone at the moment. Here is Benedict. Tries to make a move around Rodin, but he wasn't able to do so. Squires forward. There's Wood. Carries it forward. He wasn't tripped. And then Stevie Lee completes the clearance. 40 seconds of power play still to go.
Good referee here, but you'd think he's just evened that one up, because that looked like a blatant trip on Wood as he was flying through. That's definitely hooking. Wood's gone down, he's been hooked. And that'll be two for the Nottingham Panthers. Beauregard go straight into the box. All right, 5-on-3, next goal. Let's see who's still cheering at the end of it.
And the Stingrays just gave the Panthers the puck there to get a little bit of 5-on-3 time, rather than having 6-on-4 followed by 5-on-4. And it looks as though the Stingrays have called a timeout.
Penalty is follows for the Nottingham Panthers into the Mercedes-Benz 6 penalty box, number 19.
Eventually Michael Hicks gets the message, and there will be a timeout. So hooking on Beauregard.
Timeout called by the Stingrays bench.
All the talking is coming from Sylvain Cloutier down on the Stingrays bench. It's Corey Nielsen with the messages down on the Panthers bench. 27 seconds of 5-on-3. And if there aren't any goals, there'll be a following minute and 33 of 5-on-4.
As the scores stand, the ferry to Ireland will be packed full of Panthers who will be enjoying what might be one of the most historic St. Patrick's Day in their history. Can the Hull Stingrays do something to help at least make the cake taste a little bit stale on the way over to Belfast?
What have the Stingrays got in their locker on this power play? Dooley, Tendler, right across, shooting chance on, it's taken away by Kowalski. It was Davis digging away at it. It's now Dooley bringing it back to the blue line to set it up. He doesn't shoot, he gives it to Tendler. 5 seconds left, 5-on-3, shot save, can Dooley force it in? No, he can't. Tendler trying to play it back out front, it's blocked, and it's played around the boards. And it's Francis carrying it clear. And then he meets Dominic Osman and he's separated from the puck, although he's managed to go into the corner and get it back. And there's a minute and 20 of Stingrays power play. And what a great job Matt Francis has done of tying this up. Took 2 Stingrays to free it from him. And that's a good outlet pass to Tendler. Although Fox is trying to cut him off. Still Tendler. Cuts back and waits for support. Will reach Davis. Round for Rodin. Back towards Davis. Lepine doing his shift. Deep in the corner. Graham trying to get it clear, and Graham takes it out of the glove of Kowalski and clears it all the way down. 50 seconds of power play still to go. This is Rodin carrying it all the way through. Got Lepine for company, drops it off for Wood. Fox knocks the puck away from him. It comes to Dooley. Fired back in front and it was blocked, and it never reached Kowalski. There's less than 30 seconds of power play as Wilson shoots one short-handed and Bounce kicks it away. And this will come back round to Wilson by the left hash marks. Squires can't control it. And And in a few seconds we will be back to 5-on-5 hockey. And the 5-on-3 and the 5-on-4. In that little spell, not got any more effective than the previous power play for the Stingrays, and that's frustrating.
I think it just shows the difference in this Panthers side, that when they have a man down it becomes like a 5-on-5, and when they were on a 5-on-3 it feels like a 5-on-4. They really are a cut above this Panthers team at the moment. They're playing some great hockey. I tell you what though, this scoreline doesn't flatter the Stingrays. They've hustled hard, they've worked hard to create chances. They've been awesome defensively against a very good Panthers side.
Lakovic getting out of the way of Dooley, who was coming charging in. Lakovic steps away from the hit, and then losing his footing is Beckett. Kowalski's out to play it, who's alert to the danger as Smith closed him down. That one is going to be icing. Bounds just making sure it wasn't going to go in first before he let it go. It's in the very late stages down in Cardiff. The Steelers still leading by 5 goals to 4 in that match. It goes back behind his own goal rather than trying to play it down the sideboards. Ling takes his time and flicks it down the middle of the ice. Andre can't trap it. Lakovic is after it. And Andre's got it. Now it's Lovedown. Oh, and Davis tried to play the backhand pass to Tendler, and it probably wasn't on. The Stingrays always look for that pass to Tendler, but teams sometimes know it's coming. I think that was one of those occasions. Oh, and it's pinched, and the Panthers could be in here. Trying to get it across to Clark, and he's put it wide, and a long way wide. And that is not like David Clark. It was Francis that gave him the puck on the 2-on-1 as Bounds makes the glove save from Francis this time. And Osman is back in behind his own goal line, sending it around. Clark just keeping it in, and only setting up Dominic Osman. Across to the far side, and Dooley fakes the shot, waits till there's traffic in front. Saved by Kowalski. Play is still alive. Coming up on 4 minutes to play. This is Dooley. Real scramble around the side of that net. It's still with the Stingrays captain. Wood trying to get it onto his forehand to play a pass out in front. Out to Osman, who tried to play the shot in between his legs. Now it's Beauregard bursting free. He's definitely got the speed to beat hand, but he's not got the puck on his stick anymore. Third period is underway in Dundee. Fife are leading by 3 goals to 2 as that one gets back underway. Here's Squires, back to Cloutier, spinning, and he tried to go back to Squires. Benedict, trying to play it for Fox. Smith got across and knocked it away. Shout out to Paul Braisby, who's watching the game with his family and his girlfriend. Very happy Panthers fans, and we're very happy to hear your very nice feedback, Paul. And thank you to everyone who's tweeted in tonight to @JJ Fernley. Very much appreciated by everyone here at Hull Stingrays TV. So this is Graham. He's just playing keep away right now. The Squires can't get anywhere near him. Werner and Smith. Oh, and Werner and Smith having a real go at each other. Werner then backs away. Smith's not happy and taps his stick on the glass. I think there was a case to be made for a couple of roughing minors there. That was a couple of swings at each other and away from the play. That's not really necessary.
The last 2 minutes.
Certainly nothing that a team that's winning 2-0 needs to get involved in.
I think the refs just seen as much as from each other with 6 and 2 frees, wasn't it? Here comes Lakovitz.
Steelers have won. They've beaten the Cardiff Devils by 5 goals to 4. Puck just hops over Lepine's stick. So 4-1 down, De Caro pulls, time out. And it's finished 5-4 to the Steelers. So well done to Jeff Woolhouse, well done to the Sheffield Steelers. And the Cardiff Devils' disappointing season continues. Francis tried to play a pass, but Lovedahl got back in and knocked it away. Less than 90 seconds to go in this game. Luce trying to get to that one, but he can't. Shielded from it by Beckett. And so the puck will come all the way down into the Stingrays zone. We've refrained from saying this word all night, but with 1 minute and 10 to go, a 2-goal lead and a victory for the Capitals over the Giants, it's time to say it. The Nottingham Panthers last won the league in 1956. Since then, the Steelers have won it 7 times, the Wasps 5 times, the Blaze 4 times, the Devils 4 times, the Giants 3 times, Murrayfield twice, Dundee Rockets twice, Streatham twice, Bracknell, Manchester, Ayr, Streatham Royals, Paisley, Brighton and Wembley. In just 5 days' time, we could be adding the Nottingham Panthers name to that list. For the first time in 1,489 regular season games, the Panthers will play for the title, and David Clark will send them there with a win against the Stingrays. It is 3-0, and it's comprehensive and it's convincing.
They haven't left the whole Stingray zone for the last 6 minutes. They've been relentless. David Alexander Beauregard working behind the net brilliantly, finding David Clark, who I don't think has ever missed from that far out in his life, absolutely finds the open part of Ben Bounds' net. Ben Bounds has been spectacular all night. He would still be a good call for me for MVP for the Hull Stingrays. And I think Clarkies might have just earned himself man of the match for the Nottingham Panthers for me tonight. 40 seconds left, and you're right, Jonathan. We're looking at the Elite League champions. We're looking at a team that is an absolute joy to behold and to watch.
It's David Clark's 19th of the season. It was assisted by Beauregard and Myers. Clark has 1+1, Beauregard has 1+1. It was timed at 59:14. Still good support for the Hull Stingrays, a standing ovation from their fans, but all the noise to my left is coming from the Panthers fans who've travelled in great numbers, and they've seen their team win, but they've not seen their team record a shutout. The Stingrays have finally forced one over the line. It won't be back-to-back shutouts for Kowalski, but to be honest, I don't think the Panthers fans care that much.
Just as they were celebrating on their feet, the Stingrays go down the other end. They work so hard, peppering Kowalski's net until eventually he flailed until he can flail no more, and the puck is just poked home, robs him of the double shutout. Dooley with the assist on Smith, and that'll be the game. Great effort by both sides, you have to say. That is a great performance from the Hull Stingrays, and like I said before, Jonathan, a great performance from the future champions of this league, the Nottingham Panthers.
It finishes 3-1. The final goal of the night was scored by Jeff Smith, assisted Curtis Dooley and Dominic Osman. Just Jeff Smith's third of the season, even strength at 59-56. But tonight it is all about the Nottingham Panthers. They are 6 points clear at the top of the Elite League and can clinch the title on Friday night in Belfast. But it's just one win the Panthers need.
Are you looking for a new mortgage? Get unbiased advice from our team of experts at the Nottingham Mortgage Services. Secure the right deal, and you could save money on your mortgage. Visit thenottingham.com/mortgages and let us help.